What up? What up? What up?
What is up?
What's the deal, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Uptown Voices, Black and Blanco edition on this lovely August 2nd, Sunday. You know what I mean? I hate to say this to everyone else. Sorry, everyone else. It's Leo season. So us Leos, this is our time right now. It's been our time since like mid-July to maybe mid-October. So Leo season's in effect. Sorry for everybody else. My birthday's coming up August 13th. You already know. And shout out to everyone that's been supporting the podcast, man. It's been a really smooth, not I shouldn't say smooth. It's been a really beautiful journey with you, my brother. And shout out to everyone. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got a button you could donate, you could show us love, all that, man. So I've been getting mad love in the street for the podcast, so it's been a nice ride, man. So Octavio, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. A little bit of live video adjustments. Yo, Led, I'm gonna ask you to shift over a little bit to your left. Shift over to your left, like 5 inches. I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up on the end. There we go. There we go. That way we see you. Even if you could just one little bit more, that'll be great.
I really don't got more room no more. I can't do no more.
Okay. You're good. Then you're good. Then you're good. All right, that's good. And then let me put myself. There we go. Let's see how I look. I'm gonna go this way. Let's see how that comes up. If that comes up on our Instagram. Thank you everybody who's here and for bearing with us as we make final adjustments on our live. Yes, there we go. All right. That's looking good. We've got this. We got this, Led. We've got this.
There was no question for me. I don't know. We're good.
Yeah. No, I was just paying attention to the video quality and how it looks, and it's doing well. Yeah, man, I'm doing well. I think this, like you were saying, we're really pleased with how things are developing with this podcast. We're in the middle of summer. It's already August 2nd. I can't even believe that it's so August has come. It's out of nowhere. Summer. We still got a good month of summer, and then we're gonna be back in September in the fall.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I was saying yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, with Summer Street was really cool, right? So good chunks of Broadway were off limits to cars. It was really nice, man. I walked around the hood. And I was just telling you, it's August 1st. You got this month. Stop playing around. Get outside. Go see the things you haven't done, right? There's plenty of cool shit to do right on your neighborhood. Get out there and, support the local businesses. They need it. You know what I mean? Stop playing. I want to shout out Lost Borough Ice Cream, on Broadway. I think it's between it's between Cummings and Seaman, in Academy. You know what I'm saying? But
the most hilarious intersection.
Exactly, but support them.
City.
Exactly. Go see Tom Stansford's Uptown Visions on 155th and Broadway. Get out there, man. You got the summer's about to be over. Fall will be here, and I love fall. But enjoy the summer while you have it.
Yeah. And I'm going to be taking your advice, Led. I'm going to be taking some time to go down south to visit my family down in North Carolina. I'm really excited about that. I try to get down every 3 months to visit family. Folks are getting older, and we want to make the most out of our time together. So, I'll be taking a little brief hiatus from producing the podcast in August. But we'll be back in late August with more shows and more great interviews and more news. I will say also, for anybody who's watching, keep an eye out on your social media, because I'm going to be looking for, folks can contribute with money if they want. Folks can contribute just by subscribing to our podcast if they want, on YouTube or Instagram, or even, go to Facebook and check out and look for Uptown Voices. You can subscribe to our channel there. Or what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be putting out a call out for volunteers at this stage of the game. We don't have any money really to be paying for staff, but we could really use some help. If you're interested in taking part in what we're building here and you want to get in on the ground floor as a volunteer, even if you can only volunteer 1 hour a week, that's fine. We'll take it. If you've got a special skill, if you happen to be like a great graphic designer, if you happen to be like really good with video, if you're a great editor, or if you're great with marketing and fundraising, we could use that help. So stay aware in our social media. I'm going to be putting out like a form for people who are interested in volunteering with us. And then, if when we finally achieve the sustainability and make this into something that can live, in perpetuity, be, for many years, you'll be your sweat equity will be taken into consideration, and this could be somewhere that we could be doing some great work together and earning money while doing it. So that's the goal. I'm putting it out into the universe. So that's one way to contribute. And we're also going to be rolling out a advertising program. So if you're a local business and you want to advertise on our socials, or you want to advertise on Uptown Collective, you want to advertise on Uptown Voices on the podcast, you want to advertise on all those things on all of our socials and the podcast, we're here. We're ready to talk. Send us, you send us a DM, and we'll chat about how we can make that happen. So a lot of things that are developing here on the podcast level. We're really, really excited about how this is all coming together. It was just a dream, as Biggie would say, but it was just not even a dream. We didn't even think it was a dream. It was just an idea that me and Led sort of like decided, let's do it, and let's do this thing. Like, we're going to do this weekly, and we're going to be consistent about it. Consistency is the key. We take our dreams seriously here, and so we're trying to make this happen so that this can be what we do, not only for this community but for us too, for Led, for me, and for anybody else who wants to be a part of this.
Yeah, no, for sure. And but let's get right into it. I think we need to talk about this ice activity uptown.
Man.
I think it was Thursday. We had like on Isham and Seaman Avenue, there was an incident where ICE was on the scene. The community, was there, like, lashing out at them, letting them know they were not welcome, how they should.
I'm gonna play a video of that while you talk. All right.
Yeah, for sure. And they even pepper sprayed a woman. You see right here in the video.
Yeah, this is off of Uptown Collective's Instagram. You saw her be pepper sprayed right there, but she was just like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna keep recording." I love that. There was an interview that you posted that I've got up here as well. That it's going to come up in a second, of the lady on a different.
Linda.
Linda. She's a badass. She is.
It's funny. Someone on the comment.
I'm here with Linda. If you guys want.
Yeah. So one of the things I found hilarious is someone in the comments of that post put, "In a world of Karens, be a Linda."
I love that. That is perfect. In a world
that was so
Karens.
Awesome. No, but it was at first. It's funny from when you first see the video, she almost kind of looks like the lady from Curb Your Enthusiasm, the one that's always cursing out Larry. You know what I mean? And I thought it was hilarious. But not all heroes wear capes. Like, that was fucking very bold of her to do that. And it turns out she's been at Delaney Hall in Newark. She's not afraid. You know what I mean? And that kind of attitude is contagious, and it's what we need right now, because ICE. We really do need to abolish ICE. That's just there's no bullshit about it. ICE has not been around forever. ICE is younger than most people. It's been like 20 some years old. At this point, it needs to be abolished, because it's become like, Trump's personal army. And the worst of the worst, no standards. You know what I mean? And the mask wearing. The shit is too far gone. So I'm proud the way In will handle it. On Sunday there was a protest right at the very same place where it happened, and it was encouraging. There's a lot of people there. A lot of people realizing that like we really are in this together. What was interesting that I think you and I talked about yesterday, and like a dummy, I didn't record it, and I should have, but I just didn't want to get into issues with the cops. But so I left the protest because it was over, and I walked from Seaman Isham towards to Broadway to take in Summer Streets, right? So as I'm walking on Isham to Broadway, I noticed there's like a undercover SUV, like a big body SUV, and there's a cop with a special uniform, but it says NYPD clearly, and there's a drone on the floor, right? And then on the sidewalk was another cop with the drone controller, and then right there the drone took up, and in my opinion, it looked like it was headed towards the protest, and that's like troubling. You know what I mean? What was that for? So I noticed that yesterday. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. But I'm really proud about the community, protesting, realizing that like it's important for us to unite now as this is coming. I mean, I think we should expect more of this to come. I wanted to share something from the NYIC. Just give me some information. What to do if you see immigration enforcement in your community. First of all, you want to verify. Confirm that the activity is immigration related. Confirm that agents are actually ICE, CBP, or other federal agents acting as an immigration enforcement. Confirm that it's not a different law enforcement agency. Pay attention to the words that appear on the uniform. This could be ICE, ERO, or HSI, for example. Document. You have the right to record. If you are a bystander and feel safe, take videos or photos of what the officers are doing and note how many. Write down the time, date, and exact location of the encounter. Time stop when they show up, leave. If you were the person being detained, share your video with someone you trust. Share. Once verified, share this information with your networks and local hotline. How to prepare, know your rights, and family preparedness. Know your rights. You have the right to remain silent and refuse searches, no matter what type of law enforcement agent you are interacting with or what type of immigration status you have. If you are stopped in public, ask, am I free to go? Make a family safety and child care plan. Decide who you want to care for your children if you're not able to do so. Legally designate someone to be the caretaker of your children in case of emergency. Keep important documents in a safe place that other family members know about. What to do if you or your family member is detained. If you are stopped, arrested, or detained by immigration or other law enforcement, you have the right to A, remain silent and do not answer questions, talk to a lawyer or take time to find one, make a phone call such as to a lawyer or your family, be visited by a lawyer in detention. To find a person currently in ICE custody, go to locator.ice.gov and enter the person's name, country of birth, and birthday, or a 9-digit A number and country of birth. Connect with community organizations and mutual aid groups. And the resource that they put there is nyc.org/KYR. To get help, information, referrals for legal help, call the New York State Office for New Americans Hotline at 1-800-566-7636. This is what it's about now. Like we know solidarity is the only way forward. Shit is really real. The stuff that we've been talking is happening now. So, it's better to be prepared because, we don't know what's coming.
Yeah, Led, I think you're on point with that, and thank you so much for making those resources available. Can you repeat the website? I'm going to try to I'm going to put it on the screen here.
You got it. It is nyc.org/KYR.
All right, there it is. I hope that people can see that. nyc.org/KYR for Know Your Rights. That corner where that ICE encounter happened.
Can I say one more thing? I want to say one thing. There's a I forgot to say this.
Yeah.
There's a hotline that you should call to report any tips, and you should say this to your contacts right now. It is 229-304-8720.
That's the hotline to report ICE.
Yep. And make sure you're following at Hands Off NYC.
That's 229-304-8720. That is the hotline to report ICE. And give that IG again.
It is Hands Off NYC.
Hands Off NYC. Hands Off is a great organization. They've been really on this issue. They also follow ICE. One of the things about that encounter that happened this weekend was ICE had called tow trucks because they had their tires were flat. So I don't know, what's that all about, but they had to call tow trucks because their tires were flat. And so when they came out, people were angry that they were there. And not only that, but that corner of Isham and Seaman is a church, or at least it's like the rectory of a church, and it's a school. So for them to be right there is really, really troubling. That's in New York is a sanctuary city, and those are locations that are protected by our New York State and New York City rules. So the fact that they were there is really troubling, and the fact that they peppered sprayed this woman just like for like recording was also just completely uncalled for. Those people, those ICE guys are really a bunch of cowards.
They're a bunch of cowards, right? Yes, true. But they're also, it feels like I just get also the vibe that they're not even from they're out of state people, right? So you come to New York with kind of this, already with this kind of fear, and that's very dangerous. And then again, this happened on Seaman. What would have happened if it would have been on Sherman, right? Or Nagel or Post, right? Where you pepper spray someone's mom or little sister, and you might cause, some crazy upheaval that could really get out of hand quickly, right? And that's the thing that that's why it needs to be checked. I think NYPD needs to be involved, get them, where don't let them work in this jurisdiction, because this could get really ugly out of hand quickly. But again, I'm proud of the community, and I think this is how we need to be vigilant, because there's more to come, I think.
Yeah, I want to shout out some folks in the audience who are making comments. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and for commenting, and for joining in. So MDD TV, Linda is fierce, she says, and she also says that the pepper spray was on Saturday morning, not on Sunday, but that the rally was on Sunday. And she says that the rally had been planned from before that incident actually took place, which was, she said that it was that it was already pre-planned. So whatever the case may be, it's good that Hands Off New York is active in the community. It's good that our neighbors are active in the community. That woman who was pepper sprayed, Linda, she is like a beast. She's fierce, and she's part of a movement, and she's been out in New Jersey, also at the detention center there, Delaney Hall. Making sure that there's attention that's being placed there. So to the neighborhood, for those of you who have citizenship, who have residency, who are safe, if you see ICE activity, record it and tag Make the Road, tag Uptown Collective, tag Carmen De La Rosa. I want to shout out Carmen De La Rosa because she was there very quickly when she saw the posts on Instagram. She sprinted to the location and made herself available to the people who were being impacted, and was able to address the media that came later to show what was going on there. So shout out to Carmen De La Rosa.
From I posted that video, and I think within the hour, they reached out to me in IG, and asked questions, and I think shortly thereafter, that she was on the scene, talking about it, which I think is super important. Like, again, this is a all hands on deck effort. This is this is really happening now, right? And I think that, like, a community like ours, we're front lines community of immigrant community, right? So we have to expect this, and we have to be prepared, and share, and don't get yourself in trouble either. But know that you have rights. Know that that this is not right. This is immoral. This is fucked up. This goes against everything this country's supposed to be about. And we have rights, and we need to know we have power as well. And again, like,
Yeah.
I think that this could get out of hand quickly, and I think that they don't know who they're dealing with, really. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to happen, but what I'm saying, it could happen, and it's had
Right.
happened before. So it's just we need to the tension could get really out of hand quickly, and I just hope it doesn't get to that.
Yeah, and Linda has experience with this kind of activity, so she was there. She kind of knows how to deal with it. But if you are just a neighbor and you're not used to this, stay a safe distance away. Record. Try not to get involved beyond recording, because we don't want you to be injured. We don't want you to be, arrested. We don't want you to get pepper sprayed either. That bear spray is no joke. But the folks like Linda who are part of the movement, maybe you want to become part of the movement. If you do become part of the movement, they do give trainings on how to be safe. Be aware is the point.
Yeah.
Just be aware.
Yeah, but Linda took it like a G. Linda just did like the move, like, out the way. And then she went talking shit to somebody. You motherfucker shit. I was like, oh, go ahead, Linda. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Linda.
yeah, she was a badass for sure. I mean, she
For
just kept
real.
going like, this pepper spray, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. Shout out to Linda, man. Linda's the real one. But yeah,
Definitely.
man, and another thing I wanted to share, going back to, like, the podcast. So yesterday, I'm doing a live on the scene from the protest, and this woman comes up to me. Actually, it was after the protest was over. Her name is Isabel, and she comes up to me. She's like, "Yo, lad, like, my proudest moment of you was when you endorsed Daria Lisa, before the election, for the congressional 13th district." And she was like, that was my proudest moment, like, and she told me that she thought that, like, I kind of swayed the election because it was a close election, and because of, of trust, that it could have helped. I mean, that's, it was really nice, that the podcast is reaching people, that it's having an impact, and that's, it's beautiful to see. A lot of people are checking us out, and again, this is, when protests happen, Uptown Collective is definitely going to be sharing, about it, and we're going to cover that all the time, and all the content being created around that. We're definitely going to share, but Uptown Voices is where you're going to get that conversation about it. So that's why this is it's like a it's another tool in the toolbox.
It's a tag team effort, and frankly, we're like I said, this stage of the game, it's Led Black and Octavio Blanco. So we have limited resources. I have we yesterday, me and the family went down to Museum of Natural History. We had that planned for a long time, so had to be we were there. We weren't able to go to the protest, which is why we would love to see some more volunteers who will help us to be more places at the same time, reporting live from locations where things are happening, to let the community know what's happening. So, like I said, keep your eyes open to in the social media, because I'm going to start sharing this form for people who are interested in joining our movement, our Uptown Voices movement, and it's Uptown Voices / Uptown Collective. This is something that led is Led is Uptown Collective. We're both Uptown Voices. And if we can get more people who are actually taking part in what we do, we can do more, and we can be better, and we can be much more present wherever we can be. Led. I give it to you. I don't know how you do it. I don't know. Have you like cloned yourself or something? Are there like other lead blacks walking around? Like when I see you on the corner, is it you? Is it your clone? Because God damn it, you're everywhere, brother.
Yeah. I'm a Brujo. I'm Brujo Mars.
Brujo Mars.
No, you know what it is? It's like, again, this is a thing that's been my whole life, like where I just happen to know, just happen to be at the spot. Like it's like an instinct, where things need to happen. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it's just interesting. It's like finely tuned radar. Like, this is gonna sound really crazy. It's gonna sound crazy, but when you grow up in a neighborhood and you spend your whole life in that neighborhood, and then you also live through that neighborhood in the worst of times, right? So like growing up as a child during the crack era, right? And like knowing there was like almost like it's gonna sound crazy. This is gonna sound crazy, but it's like a extrasensory ghetto perception. Like it's like you feel things. You feel the vibes and the electricity in the air. That again, it sounds crazy, but it's true.
It's called ESG, extra
Yeah,
sensory
yeah.
ghetto perception.
No, it's very interesting. So I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, right, 1992 to be exact, you had riots in Washington Heights. This was the same year further down that you had the Rodney King riots in LA. I was way smaller, but those were way small. I was way smaller, much more contained. But a good chunk of Uptown, there was disturbances. And I remember getting off the train on 191st. And again, growing up in this hood at that time, we didn't roam the hood freely. I roamed my 10 blocks freely. If I went outside of my 10 block area, I had to be in conjunction with someone that lived there, right? Because if you couldn't go, like, I didn't go past 179th really, and I didn't go to Dykeman that much unless I knew someone I was going, or we were going as a crew, because you didn't want problems. Those kids didn't know us, we didn't know them, and even though we were all Dominican, it was not cool like that. So you just didn't just wander around to far off in your own neighborhood, which is crazy, right? So anyway, that day I come off 191st, and you could just feel it. You could just feel that like something was amiss. And I just walked straight to 163rd. I never just do that. We walked to 163rd, and the 163rd was on fire. Like all the tigres from that block were running off the cops. Shit was on fire. And then when I started walking back from 163rd up back to my neck of the hood, right, you started seeing the fire spreading. So by the time I got uptown back to 192nd and Wadsworth, you already saw it. So I had to grab the little camera that I had, the little, and I took it and I took pictures. Like, so there's some pictures of me with like a burning car. You know what I mean? And me and my brother, I was in the rap group, me and my man, Sean Jones. That was my DJ. I was the rapper. So I was like, yo, let's take pictures for the album. You know what I mean? And it was, again, but that was that kind of extrasensory perception that's just, it just leads me sometimes, and I just happen to be at the spot. And I give you another example, one more example, which is interesting. So a few years ago, right, I'm driving around the neighborhood looking for parking, which I do a lot, right? That's part of it. If you have a car uptown, you're always looking for parking. So I'm looking for parking, and I see Radel in front of a bodega, like around my way on Pinehurst. Like, what's Radel Ortiz doing here, right? So I was like, all right. So I was like, I found a parking. I'm just going to pretend that I'm just passing by the bodega, like, what's going on? I was like, oh, shit, what's up, Radel? How you doing, brother? What's going on? He's like, oh, we're filming a Tokisha video here. I was like, word? Oh, shit, crazy. Okay. All right, my brother, see you later. So I left. Then I came back, right? I came back, and sure enough, Tokisha was inside the bodega, just filming the video. So I was on the outside of the bodega, whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm just there, like, just taking it in. Now at this point, my wife is there, two of my kids are there. We were just watching, taking in Tokisha, right? That's that part of the video is over. That, so they're leaving the bodega. All of them are leaving. We see Tokisha, whatever. And outside of the bodega, one of the people that come out is my brother Fred Focus, who's one of the dopest directors, videographers, just the fucking truth, great guy. So Fred Focus comes up. He was like, "What up, lad?" I was like, "Oh shit, what's up, Fred? You rocking on this?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, go to 175th and Audubon. That's what we shooting next, right?" So I bet I meet you there. So now they're 175th and Audubon. I'm there with the whole fam, and there's like the way they were shooting right on the corner of 175th and Audubon, right where the bodega was for In the Heights, right? So they're shooting right on that corner, and that particular scene, it just looks like it's like 150 people in that little scene jumping wildly around Takesha, right? So it's like wildly. So I said, all right, let me go capture this with my phone, do a live. So I'm doing a live, and when the thing kind of dispersed, not dispersed, like it just cleared so you could see them, but that was part of the set, the shot. It's fucking Madonna. Madonna was fucking on 175th and Audubon, looking decrepit, like the Crypt Keeper, but still, it was Madonna, and I happened to capture it. I captured that video live. That shit went crazy viral, and I didn't really get credit because it went all over, you know what I mean? But again, it just, I happen to have that connection to the community in a way that's different. It's like, it's extra sensory, you know what I mean?
Are you the Dominican Spider-Man?
I am. Now you would see all the fat. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be. I couldn't rock that. Give me a year though. By next year.
Yeah. We're gonna Black and Blanco in the gym.
Yeah, for real.
Oh shit. I do want to give props to our friend local podcast. We recorded an episode yesterday. Night. Yeah, with It's Just Words, Nobody Cares. It was a great I think we were there for 2.5 hours on that episode recording. It went by super fast. We touched on all kinds of topics. It was an honor to be asked to appear on the podcast. It's great that folks care enough to reach out, and so thank you, Ron, for having us on. And
shout out to Ron and his beautiful wife, and for being such a great podcast episode and just really taking care of us. And I want to say, I've known Ron for a while, and I tell everyone, like, Ron and his wife, they probably have the flyest crib uptown. And I'm not saying that, and not because it's like it has like a, it's not, it's not a duplex. It's like they've taken, an uptown apartment and put every inch of that apartment, to use to just beautify. It's just gorgeous. It's hip hop, it's graffiti, it's art. It's just like so fucking cool. He does the podcast from there, and watching him, his whole setup was inspirational. Like I was like, oh, I need to hook this thing up, get it some way. I know we can't do that, you know what I'm saying, because he's been doing his thing for a minute, but I was blown away by his setup, his podcast and setup. Like I'm like, yo, we gotta step our game up. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta step our game up. I think we're doing our thing the right way. This is the right way to do it for now. But I really was impressed by his setup, and I'm like, I think I learned a lot, and I came away with like, okay, we taking that shit to the next level.
Yeah, and it was an inspirational time, and his apartment is something. I mean, it's like out of the movies. It's something that I've never seen. Well, I've only seen one other person that has a crib somewhat like that. It's my boy down in Maryland, Sean Savoy. He's a comedian, and he collects a lot of like memorabilia, and he collects a lot of like, and so his apartment his apartment is like that too. But Ron's place was like to the next level, because you could also see all the things, all the things that he does. I saw that they have like kayak oars and kayak and stuff. Yeah. Like they got all these things like all over the place, but curated. It's not like,
right. He had a thing where he had all his old iPod shuffles. We've all had them. They're probably in a drawer somewhere, right? He took all of his little, whatever you call them, things I forgot, all his little devices he went and he put them up on the wall, and then, like you said, curated. It's a capsule in time of his life, but also of our lives. We've all had those little devices. So, and then he also took like a pinball machine that he used to play with, I guess, at some point, and basically deconstructed it and put it on the wall. So the panels, the circuit board, it's all on the wall. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's just such a fucking cool crib. So everyone, when the first time I went, I was like, yo, my wife got to see this. This is crazy. And as yesterday we were walking there, I was like, yo, my man, get ready. This shit is chef's kiss, like the way they did it.
Yeah.
And again, even like what I like about the way they did the podcast is that, first of all, it looks great. The camera's lighting, everything's beautiful. But then they have the little touches where the cups have the name of the podcast. So we're drinking water with the podcast name. Like, I mean, like that's just they're doing their thing, man. Shout out to Ron Kane and his wife, man, and the whole team behind them. Because I know they have another host as well at times. I forgot the guy's name.
A guy named Dre.
Yeah, so shout out to them, man. Like this is, I can't wait for it to come out. I think it's a good look.
We were definitely inspired by the setup. We hear you. A lot of folks out there have told us that they love the podcast, but why can't you do it in person, right? Why can't you do it in person? Well, that's a plan. More on that coming up. Everything it requires resources. Everything requires time. Everything requires everything requires more help. But like we said, we were on Just Words, Nobody Cares, and the apartment, it was like a museum. Really, it's something that you know what? Actually, we've been doing some digital videos. I think that apartment deserves a digital video, like a tour of.
I agree. I've been thinking about it for a minute, like a MTV Cribs kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna hit him up to see if we can get that going for him, so he can get some love for that crib, because it's without a doubt, like, really, you haven't seen anything like it, and seriously, like, us talking about it isn't doing it the real justice that it deserves.
Yeah, for real, for sure.
What else, Led? What else?
So I want to talk about this election that is, even though it's not a local election, super important. August 4th, this coming Tuesday, in Michigan for Senate. It's going to be Haley Stevens versus Al Sayed, and I think that this is one of those, like another one, just like our Espaillat election here, where Espaillat got tons of like money, especially at the very end, from groups that were affiliated with AIPAC, but they just didn't have the label, and it didn't work. You know what I mean? It didn't happen. Same thing for Reynoso. And Reynoso thing, I think he was a little bit more clever with it. Like, he got to claim that it wasn't AIPAC money, but I think there was a lot of AIPAC related money, and he lost as well. And for this election, I think one of the things that I find very interesting is how I think Espaillat's a part of it too. Like, we were talking about this yesterday, right? That the biggest contributor to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus is AIPAC. The biggest contributor to the Congressional Black Caucus is AIPAC. The biggest contributor to the Asian Caucus is Asian American Caucus is AIPAC, right? And it goes to show you how far that money is spread, right? And how corrosive it is to a democracy. But also that it's the efficacy of that strategy is starting to wear away, right? But the numbers are crazy, right? So at this point, Haley Stevens has gotten $30 million straight from AIPAC, and about another 30, or so that are not, like, they're like AIPAC adjacent, right? And she's still down, right? So I just think that we need to see things for what they are, and then just because a person looks like you, right, it's a person of color, doesn't mean you can trust them, right? And I say that to say that, like, these people are being used against us now, right? Cory Booker's, Hakeem Jeffries, like, he's a Jeffries. Like, that's crazy that you hear, like, shucking and jiving for AIPAC against your own people. You know what I mean? And like fucking Clyburn, who's a giant, shows up in Michigan, you know what I mean, to support Haley Stevens. Jasmine Crockett, who I used to like, who I thought she was amazing, and now she's not even running for nothing, but she's become another shill for AIPAC, You know, like what do they got on you? Why you, you know, why that? She did a thing where she did a post where it's like, I don't know Sayed, but I know Haley Stevens, and I seen her in a black church. Oh, so that's where you're going with it now? Like, so I think
Yeah,
that's something to talk about. That just not all skin folk, you know,
it's kinfolk.
kinfolk, right? You know what I mean? And that's real. That's really, really real. And we need to reevaluate everybody on this thing, because we're realizing that, like, the very same people that we vote because they look like us, there's some same people stabbing us in the back.
Yo,
You know what I
Led,
mean?
I need to step away for a second, to
Okay.
take care of something. Uh, keep going. Let the people know what's going on this week from your post, and I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Okay, not even.
I'm gonna talk so much shit about you right now. Let me tell you
I'm
about
listening.
Octavio, man. This fucking guy. Let me tell you, man. It's the Let Black show right now. It's Uptown Voice without, it's not plural, it's singular. No, just kidding. But I just want to tell you, next Saturday, August 8th, at the Hispanic Museum and Library, they're doing Every Painting Has a Story. It is a storytelling workshop where learners can create their own stories, inspired work from the museum, and share their creativity. Check out the Hispanic Society doing amazing things. And like I said, right in front of the Hispanic Society, check out Uptown Visions by my brother Tom Sanford. He's Uber Kunst on IG. He's like just an amazing artist. He's the one responsible for the Nick, like little cutout figures. They were at City Hall. He also had his stuff on the DOT trucks. So shout out to Tom. Check that out. It's on 155th. There's a bunch of stuff happening uptown. Let me also let you know what Noma's doing. All them, just bear with me. But don't forget, Harlem Summer Nights is happening every Friday. It goes on until August 21st. So there's only a few more Fridays, only 7 Fridays in Harlem in the summer for this event. So I think you have maybe 3 or 4 left. Not even, right? You have like 3 left. So get on that. It used to be Uptown Night Market. So it's by 135th all the way by the water on 12th, where they shot Juice at the end of Juice and shit. Where Tupac shows up to kill my man. So don't check that out. It's also during Uptown's Harlem Summer Nights. There's also the West Harlem Artist Showcase by the West Harlem Arts Alliance. So every Friday they're featuring a different artist. You know, a different artist that's going to correspond with the Harlem Summer Nights. So we have August 7th, Jerice Fogel. She's really dope. Check her out. August 14th is Marley Howard, and August 21st is my sister, Rudy Valdez, the curly surrealist. So every Friday, you're not only gonna have food, you're not gonna have a culture, but you also have art as well. So make sure you check them out. You made it back, man. Secret Mission.
I'm back.
The Secret Mission.
Yeah, Secret Mission. Had to happen. I had no time. My bad. Well, let's talk. We were talking about that.
Hold on. No. You can't just come. Hold on. You can't just barge in here from your secret mission, right? And then just start just talking. Like, hold on.
My bad. Go on.
I'm joking. I just want to make people aware that just let me get that post right. So every first Monday of the month, right? You got to check for the timing because it's not always on the same time. But every first Monday, Columbia does their in-kind program where basically you can get space within Columbia's like the forum different for your events. You just have to be in CB9, you apply, and you get it for free. This is such a tremendous help, you know, for a lot of the local organizations. So that opens up tomorrow. And so look out for it. Keep checking westharlemdc.org, and you could get you know, free space for whatever you're doing. Super important.
That's really important for especially a lot of nonprofits in the area who maybe don't have a big space where they want to have an event or a reading or a guest or whatever the case may be. You go there and you can get like a large auditorium in
theater,
Columbia University, a theater where you could put on your event. So definitely keep an eye on that. As long as you're in the district or do work in the district, I think that's, you know, you don't have to necessarily be in the district. As long as you're impacting the district, doing
Yep.
work in the district, you're
Yep.
eligible for that. I think
So
you have to be a 501c3 to do that, but there's plenty of nonprofits in the community that could benefit from that.
yep. WestHarlemDC.org. That's also one of my clients, and Zia Ramadan, who's the executive director, was a guest on the show.
Was
So
a
go back
guest,
to the
yeah.
vaults, check him out. And Joanna Castro, who's my liaison there, who I've had a long relationship with. She's my sister. She used to be the executive director of NOMA. So it's a
Yeah.
good working relationship what I have with them. But when you go to that site, don't just go, to see about the in kind. There's tons of resources on that site for the whole gamut, like from children down to elders, right? So they what West Harlem Development Corporation does is that they provide. So basically, they were the corporation set up to basically give grants to the community. Right. So there's grants for all types of organizations, and they funded tons of organizations. I think they give a million plus every year to different organizations. And so a lot of the stuff, the programming that happens in West Harlem, they're behind a lot of important organizations. So while you're there, look up, look what some of the things they're doing. There's so many groups that benefit, and so many groups that, like you said, are doing great work for everyone in the community, for the kids, for adults, for seniors. Again, this is what we keep talking about. Community is a verb, right? Like we need to really get about community. There's resources out there. If it doesn't, like, if I don't live in CB9, yo, I know someone that does. Yo, check this out. Like let's share and keep each other accountable and safe, because it's more
Yeah.
important now than ever.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. So before we were so rudely interrupted by me, um, you were talking about the Michigan Senate race.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about, I just want to make it clear to people just what we were discussing is that despite having this infusion of millions of dollars, that campaign isn't doing very well. Al Sayed is, according to the New York Times poll tracker of that race, I mean, he's up, according to like a poll by Zenith Research, up 19. According to the poll by SoCal Strategies, up 17. According to Mitchell Research and Communications, up 14. According to Emerson College, up 16. You know, all of these different polls have him up by like double digit numbers, and that's great. That doesn't mean that that's going to be the result, but it does mean what we were talking about, that what's happening today, and I hope that it continues, and I hope that we can be a part of it continuing, is that independent media, independent people who are putting out their own news and information, credible news and information, are helping to keep the population informed. That's what we did with our own primary here for District 13. All we did for the majority of the time was give each candidate a platform to speak with us. We were trying as hard as we could to be the voice of the people, right? To ask the questions that we believe our community wanted answered, and gave each and every one of the candidates who were in the leadership positions or the leading positions. That's Adriano Espaillat as the incumbent, that's Daria Lisa as the challenger, and Oscar Romero as the challenger. We gave them the opportunity to answer the same questions however they saw fit. We did not inject our views. We did not inject.
I think I did, might have kind of sort of
in the in the in the end, you did. In the beginning, I think that you were like struggling. You were like biting your tongue for a while there, because I know you wanted to come in full throttle, right? I mean, of course, you asked hard questions about APAC, but those are the questions that the people in our community wanted answered. It's not
Right.
like that was Lead Black just doing his Lead Black thing. I mean, it was also the Lead Black position of like, I feel strongly about this, so what are you going to tell me about it? But you're not
Hmm.
the only person, right? You
Right.
were, and you gave them the opportunity to answer it, answer that question, um, however they saw fit. Each of those candidates got basically 2 hours with us, you know, like two interviews, each one was an hour long.
Yep.
And I think I think that so people who hadn't ever heard of Daria Lisa got a chance to hear about Daria Lisa. I've heard that from people in our audience that, gosh, I didn't really know who she was, but I watched your interview and I got a chance to understand where she was coming from, right?
Yep.
um, People in the audience talking about, well, you know I know Espaillat, but I really didn't know what he stood for. I had no idea about these things. And then when we started to talk about the campaign of hate that he started running out of desperation, especially folks who didn't speak Spanish, who maybe weren't aware of that, a lot of people were kind of like blown away about that, and really did not react, kindly to it. I mean, he basically destroyed his standing with Black Americans in District 13, which was already tenuous. I mean, I think from way back in the day. Um, so people have been watching, people have been learning. We want to try and do more of that, but we appreciate everybody's attention and everybody's support, and we hope that we're doing right by the audience. And then, like you know MDD TV says, she's reacting to your endorsement of Daria Lisa, and it took guts. You did that before before the election. It wasn't. We made sure that we timed that so that you got the chance to endorse Daria Lisa, even though it probably was pretty clear who you were going for. But I think that it took a lot of guts, and you on the interview that we did with just words nobody cares. You broke some news there that you haven't ever shared before, uh, and so definitely tune in to that, because you'll learn something about really the true heart of Led Black, and how seriously he takes his who he works for, and he's not a shill. We were accused of taking money for social media stuff. We didn't take a cent. I wish we could take some money, but
Yeah.
we didn't
Not
take
all
any
money's good
money.
money though. Not all
Yeah,
money's
not
good
all
money
money,
though. Not
not
all
all
money's
money's
good
good
money.
money.
For
Not
real.
all money's good money. So, yeah, man. So, more power to you. Thank you to everybody who's watching. We really really are appreciative that you're with us, and that you're supporting us,
And
and that
Octavio,
you follow. Yeah,
who what we dropping on Tuesday? What episode we got on Tuesday? Who's on the show?
that's
Do,
right.
do,
To
do, 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 do. I don't know, so that's why I'm putting it on you. I'm not sure, but yeah. Do, do. I'm
No,
not
yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
know. Do,
we
do,
we
do,
got we
do,
got we
do,
got
do,
a good
do,
a
do.
good show coming up. it's
Who is it
it's
though?
uh it's Domingo Cruz.
All right, Domingo Cruz.
Domingo
That's right.
Cruz, man, come
Crudo
on,
creates. I needed that. That's right. I knew it. You know what
Crudo.
I mean?
Crudo,
Nah,
that's right.
Crudo create. That's
Crudo.
Tuesday.
Crudo creates. He's really really interesting guy, from the heights. He's like what, like you say, like we always learn about people that we've heard of, but like maybe we know something about them, but we don't know everything about them. We always learn something really interesting. So this interview is really really cool. I love the artwork that the Crudo does of the colmados. He does mini colmados. I don't know if you have ever. It's not there anymore, but for many months there was a mini colmado in the George Washington Bridge bus station in the at the
right next to Booney and,
yeah,
and
right
Juan
next
Pablo
to
Duarte Foundation. It was part
yeah,
of the Juan
right.
Pablo.
Yeah, it was part of the Juan Pablo Duarte Foundation. Intricate artwork, like you can walk into this mini colmado. He's got all the products there, and it's an opportunity to share in the Dominican diaspora's like cultural identity in DR. We talked about the culture. We talked about Dominican culture and how multifaceted.
And what was the name of the group?
Is.
What's the name of the organization that's underneath on the when you the tunnel that goes to train? What's the name of it?
It's the Family Enrichment Center. Uh, we inspire neighborhoods. Family Enrichment Center. We inspire neighborhoods. So he's a family advocate in that organization. So not only is he an artist who does incredible artwork, he's also, his 9 to 5 is helping families in the community. And what's really cool about the Family Enrichment Center, which is in the lower level of the GWB bus station, is that it's like a third space where you don't have to buy a coffee, you don't have to, be silent.
You don't have to even RSVP. You could just show up.
You could just show up. Like if you're
read a book, whatever you want.
You want to read a book, you want to just take a break, right? You've been shopping and you're tired and you want to like go. They've got a massage chair in there that's free. The doors, all you need to do is go and, knock on the door for safety. They keep the door closed, but there's always somebody there. It's a glass door. They can see you and they'll let you in. They have a community table. Say that you want to eat lunch, not in your apartment. You want to go somewhere, but you don't want to like eat at a restaurant. You want to go somewhere where there's other people. They've got a community table there. It looks like a living room, really, is what it does. It looks like a living room, and that's what they want it to be. They want it to be like part of your daily life where you can just go, and they welcome that. They're actually inviting you to go. So,
and that's what makes like Domingo Cruz, like I think the perfect Uptown Voices guest, right? Because you might pass by that place, and you might be even helped by that place. And then you might have seen the Colmado thing, but you never knew that was that person and what their motivations are, to do things, right? Like for immigrants, his love of the DR, his love of his immigrant heritage, right? Like, so I'm really looking forward to people seeing that episode, and also let you know, right? Like, so one of the it was like a viral sensation was Bark Barbecue. I don't know if people have heard of it. Bark Barbecue was like basically Dominican infused barbecue. And it was the kitchen. I forgot the Dominican chef's name, but you could go to Time Out New York, like the kitchen in Brooklyn, and he was one of the shops there. Did very well, killed it on social, and now they have a storefront in Bushwick. But what's really dope, they also have a colmado there, courtesy of Domingo Cruz, right? So it's like these people are doing great work, not just here, but it goes beyond here, So it's good to show them that love, let them know, that they're doing good things. But Octavio, before we go, I have to also share some stuff from my peoples at NOMA, the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance. So right now, because it's August already, they have their August studio sale. So that's 25% off of bookings. So for the full month of August, all NOMA members, you have to be a member, but being a member is super cheap. It's like a yearly cheap rate, and you get access to so many things. So if you're already a NOMA member, perfect. If you not become one, stop playing. Like it supports the arts.
I got my membership. It was $45 for the year. $45. That's what I paid.
$45. Like, well, that's like 3 coffees at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? But so, and you shouldn't be going to Starbucks anyway because they support a genocide. But
go to Booney. Go to Booney. That's right. Go to Booney. It's like 4 Boonies now. So stop playing. Go to Booney. Anyway, but all NOMA members will receive a 25% discount applied in the form of a refund at the end of the month. The offers are only valid for NOMA members, teaching artist members, and local orgs seeking non-commercial use of the space. So you could use it for dance classes, for photo shoots, for seminars. Like it's just perfect space within the historic United Palace, right? So you have that vibe. Like, so you coming in already to like sacred ground. So, show them love for that.
as like I said before, I keep mentioning Tom Sanford, but I didn't mention that I'm rocking one of his tees. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother who gave us both one of these. I think.
Yeah, I gifted mine to my son Dante. He wears it with pride.
That's
He was
right. That's
he
right.
loves it.
And also, so they still got them until I think until mid-September. You could see America the Beautiful with a question mark at the end. That's a lot of great art, you know, and they do art gallery hours on Saturdays 1 to 5 or by appointment. Sometimes because you know it is part of the United Palace. Sometimes they do close on the weekend, so it's most Saturdays. But check their IG to make sure. And then I also have to shout out to another one of our guests. So go back to the vaults to Adrian Miranda. So he's doing this really cool thing in conjunction with Edu Diaz, who taught like a clown class at Noma this year, and it's called Theater in the Foyer at the United Palace. So you're gonna have like 2 plays back to back, August 14th, Friday, August 14th, 7:30 p.m. Go to unitedpalace.org to get tickets. And again, support your local artists. Like, you know, stop playing. Like these people are doing art. It's not easy. They do it for the love, just like that. Support them, support us, support we support each other.
Yeah. And before we go, I know we're running out of time here. You see this on air sign right here.
Yeah.
That was a gift from our intern Jason
Shout
Rodriguez.
I got mine right here.
This
I
is
haven't pulled
his
it out yet. Shout out to him.
It's got a battery in there, so you don't have to plug it in, so you can turn it on. It's all good.
Look at that. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Jason. He's been tremendously helpful. He's edited a lot of the podcasts that we've put out recently, like make them sound smooth, make them sound good and look good. This coming up week is his last week with us on a consistent basis, but we hope that he can stay in touch with us as he goes back to school at Manhattan University in the Bronx. In the Bronx. I love that. Go Jaspers. But yeah, man, what a great kid. He's a young man. He's really helped us a lot. I really appreciate everything that he's done for us. He you know, when one of the cool things that we've done that I've been proud of is we went all across Washington Heights and we interviewed people about in the run up to the election, like what was important to them. And he was the cameraman on all that, and really helped to make that really interesting piece come together. It's on our Instagram. I'm going to pin it because if people may want to see it. But yeah, it was something that I'm very proud of. I think we did a good job of getting the pulse of both sides of the neighborhood. I hate to say this, but there are 2 sides of the neighborhood, and we want to unite those 2 sides. But there's the east side of Broadway, west side of Broadway, and we made sure that we were hitting on both sides of those. And Jason was right there making sure we captured all that. So thank you, Jason. And thank you to everybody who's watching. Led, thank you again to you.
Sir. Yes, sir. The same to you, brothers. Spread love is the Uptown way. We killing it next Sunday. We got like a big Pix 11 piece. You know what I mean? So shout out to them.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out for Pix 11. They're going to be highlighting us and some other folks in the community. So thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon, brother.
All right. Bye.